What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we have Bitcoin sitting at 69,700 and starting to move higher. We also have the SPY at 526 and deciding which way it wants to go next. And the dollar sitting at 104, breaking our trend line here to the downside. So what does this mean for the markets? We also have Roaring Kitty back in the news after making another $300 million yesterday. So today I wanted to discuss what markets and stocks we should be looking at to outperform the markets, and then we will get into things like gold and crypto. All right, guys, that sounds good to you. You know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And let's get started. All right, guys, Bitcoin sitting at $69,700. We are in this pennant here, and it looks like we are getting ready to possibly break out to the upside. If we can close above this level, then that should be bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. I think we are going to see Bitcoin go and retest those all-time highs that we've put in here recently, and then we may move into uncharted territory. One thing here I've been kind of looking at is this almost looks like a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern. So if we take a distance from the head to the neckline, well, once we move that up here, then zoom out, we can see that that gives us a price target right around that $85,000 level. Uh, we also have the RSIs ticking upwards on the daily and the weekly. So this is bullish for Bitcoin. If we go back to the daily chart real quick, I just wanted to discuss a couple things here real quick that we need to keep an eye on. We uh, if we start to come back down and we don't hold these levels of around 67,800, then we may be going lower. This could possibly come down and maybe just wick down and come back up and just to freak everybody out. I think worst case scenario for the time being is we continue to move sideways in this range. What about the stock market? Well, the stock market is getting a little bounce here over the last couple days, and it looks like it may want to move higher. The RSIs just got that golden cross here in the last 2 days, so that is bullish for the stock market. If we do see a uh, lower low set in here, well, then we may be moving down a little bit further, and I could see something like a 3 to 4% pullback, but we will have to see how that plays out. And for the dollar, we have inverse or head and shoulders pattern here. It looks like the dollar may be starting to lose some strength. If we lose this level, then we could go back down to the bottom side of this box at 102.50. What other markets can we keep an eye on to look for good investment opportunities? Well, I think some of those are the emerging markets, and this is the Hang Seng sitting at 18,354 this morning, coming right down to right around that $18,000 level and getting a little bounce. We also have the RSI turning back up, and if we zoom out here, well, you can see we do have some previous areas here where we had some areas of resistance, and it looks like that may hold as support. Let me just put a little box in here real quick, just kind of show you that area so you can get a better look at this. So kind of this zone right here. So it looks like we hit that area perfectly, and we are starting to see a little bounce. So that is good for the HSI, and BABA sitting at 78.14, coming down, touching our line of support, and it looks like this stock also may want to move higher. Another market is solar, TAN, and this is the monthly chart. We saw this golden cross here back in April. Led to a big up candle for the month of May. And if we zoom in here just a little bit, well, we can see that we may be setting up for some higher price action in the solar markets. Right now, we are just starting to break out. As long as we maintain this line of support, well, that's good for TAN and clean energy. We also have Tesla forming a pendant here and just ranging sideways, getting tighter and tighter. So this looks like it's about ready to break out here soon within the next couple of days. And when it does, this should be a big move. The longer this goes sideways, the bigger the move we will get. And if you just take a measurement from this range of where we've been ranging sideways, then you can take that same distance to the up or to the downside and expect a similar move once it breaks. The IWM setting at 202.32 this morning, and it looks like these small cap stocks want to move higher. We've really seen this a little bit more bullish than the S&P here recently. We have the RSIs coming up from the bottom, and it does look like we do have an inverse head and shoulders here forming. So if we break above that neckline or right around that 209, 210 level, then we could see these small stocks really start to rally. We also have GameStop back in the news, as I mentioned. For those of you who don't know who Roaring Kitty is, he is the legendary investor who turned $53,000 into $500 million back in 2021. I believe I don't know the exact date. I remember when this happened, but I don't know if it was 2020, 2021 when we first saw this. He put a lot of options down and a lot of money down on options, knowing the stock was undervalued and that Wall Street didn't have the proper protection in place, turning that into a lot of money, and he is back. It's interesting right now because the power of the internet is allowing people to share information and do things like this. He is being threatened to possibly be banned from a lot of these trading platforms now. So that is interesting. And whenever this happened yesterday, there was also a glitch in the stock market, as well as I heard on YouTube and some other places. It was interesting when I was working yesterday on my laptop. Had a power outage, caused me to get the video out a little bit later than normal. Um, I went to work at a restaurant, and whenever I opened up my computer to start working, well, my computer, which is relatively new, decided it needed to completely reboot the BIOS system. I've never seen that on a computer that I recall. So that was interesting, and it just seemed like a lot of kind of strange stuff was happening yesterday. And I do believe probably some of these market makers are probably um, just trying to keep things in control so they do not get burned. So, what does that mean? Well, I had this other story here on Hello Kitty, and basically, um, yeah, he's back in the news in a big way, and so you could see this continue to happen. You have the RSI overset. You got that golden cross there on Friday. Um, I know some people that have traded this stock. I don't recommend it. It's a gamble, but hey, do what you wish to do. Um, I just wanted to zoom here a little bit on this stock and just give you my thoughts about trading this stock. Sorry guys, I got to reload this. Um, so if we look at this on, let's go to the 4-hour just to try to get a little better idea of what you may want to look for. Well, we had this first big pop, and then this came down and continued to come down. Then we put in a green candle with the RSIs at the bottom side, then gapped up, a little sideways chop action here before we exploded higher. That also coincided with the daily golden cross that we got yesterday. So, yeah, it's hard to trade stuff like this. It is a gamble. You probably have to use options. That's what he did. They were set to expire on the 21st. Um, yeah, I don't like to trade stuff like this, to be honest. Um, so that is that for now, but I do suspect that we may get a little bit more of a pullback and possibly another pop here sometime maybe within the next couple weeks. Gold setting at $2,320, and I thought we were going to see a little bit more of a bounce here. I wasn't quite sure. We do have the RSIs coming down to the bottom, and this may want to go lower. If we lose this area right here, 2285, well, I think we're coming back down in this box here of 2150 to 2200. I think that would be a great entry zone. Long-term targets is still over $3,000 an ounce for gold, and that is good for also silver and the gold and silver miners. If you're interested in investing, buying stocks, or trading, you can do so over on Robinhood. Robinhood gives you a 1% bonus and no cap when you transfer an outside brokerage account to Robinhood. Plus, they offer an 8% uh, national savings rate, or 8 times rather the national savings rate, and they allow you to begin investing and building your portfolio with just as little as $1. They allow you to invest in stocks, options, ETFs at your own pace and commission free, and they allow you to buy crypto such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and many more. If you're interested, there is a link down below. All right, guys, let's move into crypto. And I had a couple people reach out, ask me about Bitcoin. And they said they just don't see why. They don't see the value. They say it's a scam, but this is what a lot of people don't understand about crypto. This chart here, posted by Vivek, showing the currencies over time and how they come to be in power and then decline. If you haven't seen this chart here is from a video Ray Dalio put out about the changing world order. That is, I believe, the name of the video. And it talks about these longer term cycles that play out throughout history, the rise and fall of different uh, empires and nations, and how they come into power, and then how they eventually lose that power. And so what I believe we are beginning to see here is the changing world order of currencies. And that's why I believe Bitcoin and some of these cryptos will continue to outperform over the long term, especially Bitcoin. Ethereum and Solana, I think, will hold for a few cycles from what I see right now. A lot of these other cryptos, I wouldn't be looking to hold them for more than a cycle. I am an swing trader and investor. So I don't really want to set through all these ups and downs, except for my long-term positions. I do have a position in my portfolio I hold for long-term. But anyway, this was just in and released. Australia and the UK Bitcoin's ETFs just went live. Thailand also approved a Bitcoin ETF. So yeah, adoption is just going to continue to grow, and the more people understand this and learn about how these networks grow, then the more people that want to get in and drive the price up. This also just in, 63 banks are on the brink of insolvency. So the securities soared by 39 billion to 517 billion in the first quarter. So you know what that means. That means the government will have to step in probably at some point to prop these banks up, and that means more money printing. So that is bullish for risk on assets. That's why I believe you'll see these risk on assets continue to rise over the next 12 to 18 months, possibly 24 months, as well as things like gold and silver. Ethereum also has this pendant, and when this breaks, this will be a big move as well. If Bitcoin moves up, then I tend to kind of think Ethereum is going to go up too and retest these highs over here. But yeah, I'm not sure on this one, to be honest. It could do that. It could break down, maybe come down to this mid-level. I think if it did go up to the top of the range, then you may see it come back down and still come back and retest that $3,400 to $3,600 level. If it came down to 32, I think that would be a great entry. I would be buying that all day long. Solana setting at 166, and it looks like Solana is probably getting ready to move higher. We just had the crossover on the stochastic RSI, indicating that Solana is probably about to move much higher. Sorry guys, let me just zoom out here a little bit. And we are in this broadening wedge pattern, so I could see Solana moving up to that $230 to $240 range. So that could be happening very soon. Of course, we'll have to break the resistance of this recent all-time high right around 200, but I could see Solana going up there sometime relatively soon. All right, guys, if you are interested in buying crypto, you can do so over on E-Trade. I use E-Trade, or sorry, iTrust Capital. I use iTrust Capital. You can buy things like gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and many more. There is a link down below if you are interested, so you can check that out. It is Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. I've got some other things I've got to take care of. So anyway, guys, I hope you all have a great day and a good week. And until next time, guys, be legendary, take care, and peace out.